Woo! Like I said, we getting we getting trades now. We getting trade for like big sets of people that hey, we still kind of ain't giving a damn about the Super Bowl right now. And I was like, the deadline coming up basically on Thursday, which is a couple of hours from now. I'm not doing no damn math. But we did get another domino in the whole thing with Jimmy Butler getting traded to the Warriors. Now, it seemed like he wasn't going to because it's like they wasn't wanting him give him that money. They just wanted to go ahead and just be like, okay, we're gonna get Kevin Durant. And then Kevin Durant is like, yo, you trying to mess up my legacy even more? If I return back, how do I look? That's how he got to think about it. If he was called a cupcake going there the first time, how we gonna be looking back, going back to your ex? Think about it. That's how you gotta think about it. Most of y'all ain't even willing to do that right now, and you actually probably like that person. So look, I was like, so they went ahead and got Jimmy Butler. And I already seen people, and I was like, now granted, I was like, the trade detail came out even further after that, where it's like Lindsey Waters is going to, I was like, Lindsey Waters is going to Detroit. I was like, and Josh Richardson. I was like, Kyle Anderson's going to Toronto. Then the Schroeder's going to Utah, which I wouldn't be surprised if Utah try to flip him again, because I was like, I think he's one of those that you can keep on trading. And I was like, to me, Schroeder, I was like, is a good guy to have. I sort of wish the Warriors would have sort of kept him just to have another. I was like another like point guard. I was like he got his own shot a little bit more too, and I think that would have been really cool with him and Butler and stuff like all of them. But anyway, and then the Heat basically getting Andrew Wiggins out here. Now I was like, let's go ahead and knock a couple of the other ones out the way. I was like, we ain't talking about Detroit. I just told you about. I just did about Schroeder. I was like. Kyle Anderson seemed like I was like Toronto just sort of just got people up there, and I was like I like Kyle Anderson. I was like I do like him on like teams, but I was like if he can't get nowhere else, then I was like yeah, and he's stuck up there. That sort of sucked. I was like I think he can be impactful on the team, especially when I need to like a point forward type of person. But I was like let's go with Andrew Wiggins with the Heat, because I seen people immediately once they seen this deal, they was like, oh, the Warriors got fleed, the Heat won this trade, which makes me really think like, one, a lot of y'all just Butler haters. That's all y'all are. I was like, don't get me wrong, I don't think he handled it right with Miami, but I also don't think Miami did him anything either. I was like, because guess what? Everybody's going to be like, oh, look, Pat Riley made a trade during trade deadline. It's like, bitch, he ain't had no other one to really do. This is all he had. I was like, think about Jimmy Butler take you to 2 finals appearances and you don't do nothing for the roster. That's why I understand that. I'm just like Jimmy Butler is like over like everybody that's talking about Jimmy Butler, like, oh, he wants the money, he wants the money. It's like, yeah, damn, you're right, I want the money if you ain't gonna go out here and get nobody. Well, like if I take you to 2 finals, cool. I know I'm about to get old as hell over here. But if you ain't gonna get nobody in here, then what we saving this money for? Well, then what we doing this for? Oh, you just over here. You basically trying to play, trying to see who the big dog out here. That's what you are, dude. We gonna see who punks who first. That's all that really was. And guess what? Jimmy Butler won in the end. But let's go with Andrew Wiggins with the Miami Heat. I was like, look, I was like, I was like, you basically are getting a light-ish more version. You basically getting an alcohol beverage with no alcohol in it. When they say like 0.0% and you just got the taste of alcohol. That's what Andrew Wiggins is compared to Butler. Cause Butler's the better player. I was like Wiggins. I was like he's just more athletic and stuff like that. But but Butler's better. But I think with this Miami Heat team, you basically get a 6'8". Athletic wing. I was like he could still score at 20. I was like we're sort of done of being that crazy optimism of what Andrew Wiggins can be. I will say that I guess if they go on a run or something like that, where it's like Andrew Wiggins leaves them, I guess you can sort of bring back Heat coach. But guess what? Heat coaches don't exist out here no more. That's not. I was like that was sort of cool, and it was all through the grind when you was bringing up these undrafted friends, and I was like, y'all ain't that, but they ain't really y'all. But I think now that it's mainly Hero at the lead guy, and I was like, you always got Bam there being a consistent defensive threat. I was like, they're going to be a decent Eastern team. I was like, I don't think they're going to go anywhere anymore with Wiggins than they was with Butler. I was like, the only thing you could really say is the fact that since Butler wasn't playing in all those games, that Wiggins adding his input in the games actually means something, because he was getting basically nothing from in that area for this whole time. But Wiggins, we'll see how long. We'll see if he stays there in Miami until the contract up. See if he gets flipped again. The thing is that guess what? People don't really want Wiggins like that, and especially at the contract he came off of after the title run, almost like Jordan Poole. It's like that money was given. It's like okay, that's cool for what they was doing over there, but that's not really, Granted, the money's going up, so it's like. Well, I was like, he can be traded. I'm not acting like he can't be traded. I'm just over here just like, yo, Wiggins ain't somebody that you like, yo, we won this thing here for something. But I was like, he'll contribute to the Heat. I was like, he'll fit in with whatever Heat culture is. And it'll be fine. I was like, Golden State. I was like, now, let's get it out the way. Are they contenders for the title? No. I was like, but they also aren't done with moves. But I also think that sometimes it's like everybody always thinks that you need to make a move in order to go for the championship, and I'm just like, no. Sometimes you making moves to show a good face to your fan base. Sometimes you are I was like, maybe you're a team where just like when you can't really make that big move, you just want to just stay in the playoff hunt. I was like, sometimes you want to show your star player good faith, which is this sort of is. I was like, this is basically showing Steph Curry that's like, hey, while you're here, we will try. And Jimmy Butler, I was like, didn't get his max contract he was asking with the Heat, but he did get a max contract as far as what he wants and in correlation with the Warriors. He is basically on a 2-year deal, which is basically the same as Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, which basically means we're going to ride this out, and then when it's over, it is over. I was like, they wasn't able to give up Kuminga, Pozinski. I was like, they still kept Buddy Hield, even though I know he ain't hitting on fire like how he was at the beginning of the year. They still got Looney and stuff. So it's like they still got people that if they wanted to make trades, they can make those trades. I was like, but also at the same time, you still got enough young people. You just really needed another guy there that was above what you were getting from everybody else. He's a veteran dude. He'll help take some attention off of Steph Curry. I was like, I know he's not a scorer in that type of way, but I was like, but he is somebody you got to respect that can get buckets. I was like, especially in the playoff time, I was like, he has his own shot, but I was like, he also doesn't need the ball, so you don't have to worry about him hogging up touches on the offensive end either, because he's willing to pass, he's willing to defend, he's willing to rebound, he's willing to cut. He's a very high, smart basketball player that with Golden State, that's what they sort of also value at the same time. That's like, okay, he might have it to where it's like you don't have to rely on Buddy Hield to be over here scoring 20 like how he was at the beginning of the year. He could just be Buddy Hield where sometimes he scored 15, sometimes he scored -3, and that's what it is. That I do think they still need they either still need a 5, and I was like, I know they talk about Vucevic. Now they get Vucevic. I'm not over here being like, oh snap, start the parade, but I am saying that now it's a threat out there, and I was like, to me, where I was like, cool, you have somebody that can shoot, score buckets, to where I'm just like, with that team, I was like, everybody can sort of play their role. But I think they do need a 5 that can sort of shoot, because you got Draymond, Jimmy, and some of the other ones don't really shoot threes like that. And if you end up keeping Kuminga in there, I was like, I think they need another guy who's more of a consistent threat shooting the ball outside of Buddy Hield or whatever like that. So I was like, but are they a championship contender? No. But at the same time, I think they're in the same window spot that you sort of put the Lakers in, that it's like, you would not also be shocked of them get how far they would get. And I was like, to me, depending on the matchup, this team is a second round team. Don't get me wrong, I was like, that does not mean they can't lose in the first round or whatever. But I was like I said, depends on the matchup. But I was like, to me, I was like, you have enough pieces there. I was like, I would probably put the Lakers a little bit higher, just because I was like, if you get Luka, he could always just shoot anybody I would like to win a round by himself. But I don't think they're really that far. I think they're really trying to build a team like how we got the notion of Dallas trying to build their team, and which I think is a fine concept, that you want to get enough good quality pieces around that it's like, okay, cool, when we face up against some of these teams that may got the top player, we got enough pieces around to where like, cool, we could just wear you down. Like against the Nuggets, it's like, okay, it's like, yeah, you got Jokic, and that dude's a beast, but it's like, okay, cool. Now we got enough defenders, we got enough people to see that it's, hey, can they also outdo what they normally do in the regular season? We know you can, but can they hold up their end of the bargain? Um, yeah, so I was like, I would like to see Golden State do another. I was like, make another move. Uh, I was like for a quality another player. Or two, because I was like, I think that you see, my thing is with the Warriors is that I was just like, I feel like for so long they've been trying to do this, keep the young players, not to like get rid of, but actually keep the young player. Where I'm just like, no, your team is somebody that built these young players to try to see if you could throw them out to somebody else or whatever. I still would like it if they were able to get like Bogdanovich from like Atlanta. I think he's 32. I was like, I think he gives you a little bit more consistency at that two spot than like Buddy Hield sort of does. I was like, we already done talk about like Vucevic as a center or whatever. I can't think off the top of my head of like I'm like a good shooting big that would have kind of like most of them. I was like most of them sort of tied up in a way that's like, yeah, you're not gonna give them up. And I was like, to the money matchup. But I think this is a good. I think this is a good trade. I was like for the Heat, can they just get done with the Butler saga? I think Wiggins will be a fine. He's still young. He's still actually pretty young to where it's just like he's not. It's like he's been in the league. It seemed like forever, but I was like he's basically around the same age as Bam. I was like, and with the Warriors, I'm like, you got Steph, maximize the hell out of that. So I was like in that note, yeah. So I was like, there's nobody for with Golden State or whatever like that. But hey, I was like, but for right now, we'll see the rest of them go. Anyway, as the trade deadline keeps on going, we'll see how it all goes. Until then, we'll see how everything is. Peace. I'm out.